again, welcome back. I hope you're all well. If you are new around here, then hello, nice to meet you. And if you're returning, thank you very fucking much for coming back. Yes, I do like the odd sweary word. If you've been here a while, this intro will now be grinding on your fucking gears and you'll be like, shut up, I know you swear. Let's keep it snappy, Alana, and get on with things. But just in case, because I know there's a few newbies around there, hello, nice to meet you, how you doing? Just in case, I thought I should let you know that I do like profanity. I love it, in fact. Love swearing, think it's great, think it's a really emotional, guttural way to portray yourself. And actually I watched a programme the other day that basically was saying that people who swear, that it's not because they've got a lack of vocabulary, it's probably because they're more intelligent. There you fucking go. So if you're not into that kind of thing, I completely understand. Please feel free to skedaddle, it's okay, we don't mind here. But if you are into that type of thing, there's a little subscribe button down there. If you feel like it, please don't feel you have to. Nobody's forcing anybody into anything on this channel. It's okay, we don't mind. We're all pals here, don't worry. Now this video is going to be the blush tag. I have seen a good few people do this now. I'm sure Rupi Minas, I'm really sorry Rupi if I'm pronouncing your second name wrong. Again, with the Scottish accent, it's never helpful. But regardless of that, Mimhas, I'm not sure. Please let me know how to say it phonetically, because I'm shite, I'm absolutely shite. But I've seen her do it as well. I also very recently seen Lauren from Bizarre Gardening Accident do it, and that is the reason I'm doing it, because I'd seen all these other YouTubers do it and I was kind of like, oh, that's a good idea, that's this, that's that and the other. And then I watched Lauren's and I was like, you know what, that actually looks really fun. Sorry, this is my cat back here. Again, if you've not been here before, just in case you're like, why is your bed moving? Why is your bedclothes moving? What the fuck is going on back there? That is an animal, don't worry. Are you alright? Do you want to come and say hello? Here. There she is. This is Pebbles. This is the wee kitten. I say kitten, she's actually 2 years old now, so she's getting on a wee bit now, aren't you? But Molly is our older cat and this is Pebbles. Yeah, she's a wee cutie. Look at her. Look, she looks raging. She's not raging, she's just got that kind of face. She's got one of these, that's just the way her wee munchy face looks, doesn't it? Right, on you go. There you are. She's like, Mum, I was fucking comfy there, what are you up to? I've now got cat hair all stuck to my lips as well. Oh, that's helpful. Anyway, I saw Lauren doing it, I thought it looked really good fun, and I thought, fuck this, I'm gonna do that too. So if you want to see my version of the blush tag, or even if you want to join in, like, feel free to. I'm not gonna link anybody, I'm not gonna like tag anybody, because at the end of the day it's been done a million times. But if you fancy doing it and you want to join in, feel free. Please let me know that you've done it. Message me over Instagram, that's the best place to get me if you've done it, because I would quite like to watch your video. And let's just get started. If that feels like your kind of thing, keep on watching. Right, I'm gonna have to open, oh actually I should have said, this is your point of call to get yourself a tea, a cuppa, a coffee, a fucking libation, any type you like. Wine, tequila, whiskey, vodka. We do not judge here, that is quite alright, and my videos are quite long, you might need it to get through it, don't worry. Coffee for me today because, like I said before, health, absolute health. Right, okay, first question. What is your newest blush? Probably has to be one of these, to be honest with you. I bought them both at the same time. This is the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush Colours. I always want to call them like Vision Flush Blush, but to be honest with you, they can be used anywhere. You can use them in your eyes, your lips, your cheeks, your fajuju if you really wanted to, if you felt you needed to add a little colour to life. You know, why not? Fuck. Why did I think you would want to put it on your fanny? Anyway, do you know what? Sorry. If you are new around here, I highly apologise for this, especially because you'd be like, I don't need to know about your fanny. But in America, I know you guys, right? Anybody who's watching, if you're in America, you say fanny for your bum, yeah? For your ass, you say fanny, right? We say fanny for your lady bit, your gardens, your front bum, yeah? That's what we say fanny for, so just in case anybody's like, what is she on about? Like, yeah. And in Scotland, it's like a really jovial insult. So in Scotland, if you were like, oh, he's a fanny, like he's a pure fanny, there's actually an advert in Scotland for Iron Brew, which is a drink over here, like a fizzy drink, soda, whatever. So you know, I feel like it's a whole other fucking language sometimes. So yes. Iron Brew do this advert and the woman's having a baby and she has the baby and the midwife comes round and she's like that, what are you going to call it? What are you going to name them? And she's like, oh, I'm going to call her Fanny. And then the dad's like, what? And he has a drink Iron Brew. And then the mum's like, oh, that's lovely, like your Auntie Fanny. Oh, she really looks like a fanny. I'm like, It's mental. I know anybody, well maybe people in the UK, I know anybody Scottish watching this will be like, I fucking remember that advert. But just for clearance there, that's what I was talking about when I say fanny. Anyway, back to these, because that was just a random rambly piece of shit. If you're new, I'm sorry, I love a tangent. I think these are wonderful. These are my newest blushes. I picked these up in October, I want to say, and they are fabulous. They are so, so good. I've got, sorry, Black Cherry, which is a really, really dark, which I don't know, kind of almost a full face look with. It was my Christmas kind of festive one. That's it there. It looks like there's not really much there, but these are so, so pigmented that I thought I'm going to just put the tiniest amount on my hand. But that one's like a really nice plum, warm kind of, oh, just in from the cold, snog and jerk frost his face off kind of thing on your cheeks. Really, really nice, really beautiful bitten berry lip. And then the other one I've got is Ballet Slippers. Now Ballet Slippers I feel isn't aptly named, to be honest with you. Sorry, that's Ballet Slippers there right next to it. It's kind of, especially on my skin tone, a bit of a nude, like a brownish nude colour. I can get away with, in the winter, using it as almost a little bit of a cream bronzer, just to bring a bit more colour to my face. But they also have one that's called Bread and Butter, and Bread and Butter is a real pinky colour. And personally, I think those two names should be the other way around, because Ballet Slippers, I don't think are this colour, whereas Bread and Butter, if you were to see that one, it's quite pink. And to me, Bread and Butter would be more of a brownish tan colour. Just saying, just saying. Anyway, rambled on enough. Alright, your oldest blush. What is your oldest blush? I got rid of quite a lot of things last year and a bit of a declutter, so I think it's probably this one from E.L.F, but it could also be this one from MAC. I'm not sure. Right, so the E.L.F one is called Mellow Mauve, and it's like, or mauve, whatever way you want to say it. And it is a mauve colour, that's exactly what it is, but it also has a little bit of a sheen to it. You're not going to see that come up on my hand, it's barely there. This is probably too old. I probably actually need to bin this one. I think I just kept it because it was the only colour that I really had like that. But I'm going to be honest with you, even looking at it now, I'm like, it's got those little bumpies. Is it hard pan? But it's got, you know those things that Jaclyn Hill had in her lipsticks? That's what it's got in it. Yeah, it's looking kind of like that. It's very, very old. You can kind of see it there. It's very, very faint though. It's too old. It's far too old. It did have like this just mellow, like, she's going into the covers now. It's alright, don't worry. Again, if you just think my bed's moving about behind me there. It does have this kind of like nice dusty pink colour, but then it had a shift of almost a purpley pink to it with a little bit of sheen. It doesn't really have that anymore, so definitely gonna have to get rid of that one. I think that's probably the oldest. This one would be a close second, and that is MAC's Dolly Mix. Bright as a button. So yeah, they're probably close seconds to each other, but this one still looks good, and I've used this one recently. It still works fine. Okay, your most expensive blush. Now, I've said this before, I'm only really just getting into the bougie shit. This is all relatively new to me. I do have, and I always have had, like branded makeup that you would say back in the day would have been high-end makeup. But designer makeup isn't something I've ever dipped my toe into, and things like Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona and all that, that's all fairly new to me, I'm not going to lie. I do love a bargain. I love a bargain, I love drugstore makeup, but I'm gonna have to say my most expensive blush is probably this one from NARS. I did have, and I'm sure I've decluttered it as well because I can't, surely not. Hold on, just realised something there. No, it's okay, alarm bells, put them off. Okay, so I was going to say probably the NARS Erdem, but I actually think it's the NARS Orgasm, for the reason being, this is the jumbo size. So although NARS Orgasm has been around for a very, very fucking long time, this is the one with the special packaging that it's got like pink NARS. I don't know if you'll see it there, it's got a bit of a shift to it. And it's NARS Orgasm, but it's in a mighty, mighty pan. This is probably bigger than Laguna bronzers. This is massive. Well, actually, I'll just show you the size of a normal NARS one and then you'll get the gist, won't you? Not a normal packet though, it's a fancy packet. But for sizing, that is a normal NARS blush and that is the size of this one. So it's probably this one. This one probably cost me the most just because of the sheer size of it. NARS Orgasm, I mean, you know, everybody's heard about it, everybody knows it. People are sick of it now. I think they're a little bit like, sick of your tongue-in-cheek shit, NARS. But I actually think this is a really beautiful blusher. I do think this is really, really nice. I like the sheen off it, and in the summertime with that kind of pink, like rosy glow, I think it is beautiful. I'm wondering if this was more expensive than the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which I've just realised, actually that is my newest blush. I'm talking shite about the Vision Flushes. Hold on, I thought I'd collected all my blushers. Sorry, this is why I need to do a declutter, because I just keep forgetting that I've got things stored everywhere and it's a bit of a mess. So, most expensive, sorry, Sean Connery sneaking back in there. Most expensive blush has to either be this one. This is the Pillow Talk. Speaking too fast now. The Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, or the massive jumbo from NARS with the NARS Orgasm. But obviously normal NARS blushes aren't as expensive as this. It was just because it was a super size. I also got this on a bit of an offer. Like, it was when they released some other orgasm shit and I got it. So I think potentially, this is definitely my newest blush. I'm sorry, I've made a mistake there. But this also might be the most expensive if this was a normal size. Does that help? I actually think they're quite similar as well. Not perfectly similar. This is maybe a little bit more of a brownie undertone, but the reason I like them is because they both have that sheen aspect to them, and I really like that. So I think they give a similar look of, you might have just had an orgasm. They give you that flushed look, that healthy glow, as people might want to say. But yeah, the Charlotte Tilbury one is definitely much deeper. That's it there. You can just about see orgasm on my wrist there. Oh, that could have came out funny if it, oh, sometimes, honestly. Innuendo. Here was me thinking this would be a nice, quick, easy video to film. Who am I kidding? Most affordable. Now, I've got a lot of them. A lot of them. I'm gonna say though, for kind of product quality along with affordable, I'm gonna pick up this one here. Now this is a cream blush. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you will know I love cream products. I've shown you all powder so far, but I do love cream products. I think they're lovely. I don't know if this is one you would get anywhere else other than the UK. MUA, which is Makeup Academy, are a little brand inside Superdrug. They're like £1 a pop. This probably cost me £2 or £3, even if that. It probably was £2. I can't remember. They used to do all of their stuff for £1 each. It used to be a little bit like the way E.L.F was, but the stuff is really quite good. Not all of it, some of it's a bit hit or miss, but this in particular is very, very nice. And this is their blushed liquid cream blush. I picked this up last year. This one is in Misty Rose, but it's definitely a real like coral colour on my skin tone. Can you see that there? Wait, I'll just blend it out a little. That's it there in my hand, and it's a really nice like coral colour. I don't think it's a rose colour whatsoever. It's just a little bit more luminous than a rose colour should be. I'm thinking like a dusty rose. This has definitely got a little bit of a neon quality to it. But it's very, very affordable, but very, very good, very effective. Some of my favourite cream blushes are Glossier, and this is a really, really good option if you don't want to be ordering off Glossier and you don't need anything else. And you just want to try cream blush and you're not sure how you're going to like liquid or cream blush. So yes, very, very nice and very, very affordable. Okay. Everyday blush. Right, that one's easy. Easy peasy. It's going to be Glossier's Cloud Paint in Storm. Now, this looks a little deep and dark, but it's not. It's not that winter berry blush that you would think. It's much more of a reddy tone to it. And it's almost, on my skin, a little bit brown and a little terracotta. I know, my swatches are shit. I'm doing it to remind myself what the bloody colours are like, not so much you. But it's a kind of like deep, ruddy, brown, terracotta colour almost, but not orangey. So like, I don't, you know, like red clay, it might be a little bit like that, but not orangey. It's definitely not orangey, and I love the Glossier Cloud Paints. They're some of my favourites. So that is one that I could wear with pretty much any look, I feel, and either build it up or leave it really pale and natural. Yeah, it just works really well on my skin. I think it works well on my skin because I have a pinky red undertone, so it could just look like I've got a little bit more flush, or it could look like I've got a blusher on, you know. Most colourful blush. Now, I don't really have mega colourful blushes. I kind of stick to tan, berry and pinks. Or tan, berry and coral. That's probably it. And the pink. Now I'm just running off lots of colours at you. I'm gonna say probably this one from Kiko. Again, very, very affordable, but very, very bright. Very, very, it looks kind of pink on the camera there. It's not, it's a true coral colour. It's very, very orangey coral colour to it. Maybe see it a little better that side. And it's very, very nice and actually very, very pigmented. I picked this up to go on holiday a few years ago because I just thought, you know, when you're on holiday, you like that kind of flush of really corally pink colour, especially when you've got a little bit of a tan. And it's very, very pretty. That's it there. You can see it's very, very pigmented too. And for the price of it, I was very, very pleased with it. Probably as well though, for my most colourful, the NARS Erdem one is very nice too, but I don't have anything that's like, Lauren had a purple, and I know you can get yellow blushes and orange blushes and all that kind of stuff. I don't really have anything like that. This one here from Erdem is like, what colour is it actually? I don't think they have this colour anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. This is called Loves Me, and it's like pink, but it has again a bit of a sheen through it, but it's a very, very bright pink. Very, very pigmented. You need a very light hand for that one. I can't get over how pigmented that Kiko one is now. Every time I'm looking at my hand, I'm like, I should pull that out. This is why I need to do a declutter and a little bit of a short moustache. Okay, so best memory. Now again, Lauren was a bit like, memory with a blush? Like, how do you do that? I don't know. And I kind of tend to agree with her. I think when I done my eyeshadow palette tag, because I done one of them as well, I said that my MAC ones were probably the most memorable, and the reason for that was because every time we went traveling somewhere, when I went to the airport, I would buy a single to depot into my tray, basically, into my, what do you call that, palette? Fuck, Alana. Yeah, so I did have memories for each of the colours of where I went to that time, and I picked up a new MAC eyeshadow. But with blushes, yeah, I find that quite difficult. I can't think like of any that give me any particular memories, to be honest with you. I would really struggle for that question. No, I don't have one. I sat there for about 5 minutes thinking I can't waste any more time on this. I need to move along. But yeah, sorry, I don't know. Don't have any memories specifically from any of these blushes. I mean, okay, wait a minute. Sat there for 5 minutes looking at this one. This one is from Douglas, which is a European version of an Ulta or a Sephora, I suppose. And I picked this one up in Bratislava. So I suppose that would be one for a memory. It's just a kind of dusty, it's a really pale pink colour. It's almost one of those powder to cream formulas, like you run your finger in it and all of a sudden it feels creamy instead of a powder. But it's nice, it is nice. Don't wear it that often. I should, again, need to have a declutter. But it is nice, but that's probably the only one, but nothing that really equates a specific memory, to be honest with you. Blushes, it says, just says worth the hype. I take it that means like, what is worth the hype? I am absolutely going to go with the Glossier Cloud Paints. Absolutely. They are so worth the hype. As I've said before, Glossier is one of these brands, it's like a really cool girl brand. And I am one of those dicks that kind of fell for it and likes it. I really do. Not everything from Glossier. They do a lot of stuff that I just don't get on with, but they do an awful lot of stuff that I really, really enjoy, and these are one of them. They're really, really good. They're really worth the money. I think they're probably around about 14 to 16 pounds. I think they might even be 15. You get 2 for 25 on offer. I think that's how they work it. So they are expensive for what they are, and obviously you can pick up ones like this for £1, so you're thinking why bother, but they are so worth it. They are so good. They last really long. It says on the back 6 months. I have had this well over 6 months. Not this one. I think I've had Storm probably about a year, but this one, Haze, I think this is one of the first Glossier blushes I ever picked up, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Doesn't smell funny, still works, doesn't bring me out in a rash or anything. So I think these are well worth the hype. If you want to look into them, I know Glossier is one of these things, and I do have a video of Glossier dupes if you want to see that as well for those cloud paints. But to be honest with you, I don't think anything compares to them. Blushes that are not worth the hype. Okay, I know what I'm going to go for. I had to think about it. I do not own a full-size blush of these, but probably the Benefit blushers. Now, I think this might have been what Lauren picked as well. I had to think about that there. I have got 2 of the Benefit blushers in minis. This one is odd because it was in a box. It came in part of a set. Somebody bought me a set at Christmas once, and it came like this once, as if it was many moons ago. And it came in like this in the box, and I had to remove it out of the packet, so I keep it in a little like plastic sleeve so that it doesn't get ruined, but it doesn't have a box, which is really fucking annoying. And then this one here is Benefit's Dandelion. Now this actually, you could say I've panned this because it is right down at the side. Like, I use this loads, and actually it's probably one that I take on holiday all the time, like, because it's so travel all the time when we used to do that. It's so travel friendly though, and actually this packaging I love. If Benefit would bring out their normal blushers and then this style of a packaging, then you know they might be onto something there. I really like and really appreciate this little tiny package. Now Dandelion is one that I'm sure it was in your same bit, Lauren. Basically she was saying like, this doesn't show up on my skin, like if it's not going to show up on my skin, whose skin does it show up on? Like, what a waste of time. It shows up on my skin. It absolutely does, and it definitely is a real natural kind of flush of just barely there, like you've been kissed by a puppy pink. But I really like it, and that's why I've hit pan on it. But what I'm going to say is, for the price of these and the hype that they get, the Benefit known for blushers or their mascaras, whatever, they've got their kind of cult products, and I don't think their blushers should be in there because I don't think their blushers are as good as other brands. But personally, Dandelion, I really like. I do like it, and it's one that's a very favourite springtime blush of mine. And saying that, would I pick up the full size? Probably not. So I hope that gives you some kind of idea. Right, favourite blush from my favourite brand. Okay, that's going to be tricky. So I couldn't say Glossier is my favourite brand, but the Cloud Paints are definitely my favourite blushes. I don't think that NARS, I could say, I don't know. Oh, I meant to tell you as well, the Benefit little cream ones. Sorry, we've went on another tangent. Don't just keep going with me here. It's a magical mystery tour. The Posy tint, the reason I pulled this out is because I did used to have this in full size, and Cha-Cha tint as well, I want to say. I had in full size, and this is like the pinky one, and Cha-Cha tint was like the corally one. I actually really quite like these though. These are nice, but that was just a little extra snippet for you there. Okay, I don't know if I can pick. I can't say Glossier is my favourite brand, but definitely the Cloud Paints from them are my favourite blushes. So I'm going to have to pick them, I suppose. For a powder though, if you wanted me to pick a powder, I would probably go with, it's a new one, but Charlotte Tilbury, because I think this is an amazing blusher. I think this is really, really nice. I probably would have to say, even though it's new, I really, really like this. But again, not a favourite brand. I think I'm too fucking picky to have a favourite brand. I change my mind too much. Lady, you know, it's your prerogative. Or if you're a sleek at hair like me, you just like to change your mind a lot. Right, okay, most used blush. Is that not the same as every day? Oh, no. Okay, most used. Does it mean the most used as in what you've hit pan in, or does it mean the most used like you use it the most often? Because I'm sure that must be what your everyday blush is. Just checking the ones that I've used quite a lot of. Alright, so this is a bit of a curveball. This is a little, I'm going to go with the most used, actual, like, used product. So this is nearly finished. This is Sleek, and it came from their Whimsical Wonderland collection. And it is in Lickety Split. It's one of these, it's like a water blush. Sorry, that's all that's left of it. That's all that's left in it now. And it's like one of these ones that's like a cream blush, but it's like a gel, and it's a water. It's cooling when you put it on the skin almost, and you can build it up, but it never gets too, you can just see it there, never gets too away with itself for a cream blush. These are really user friendly, but I'm giving it a smell just to make sure it's still okay, because I've had it for ages. But that's definitely the most used, because that's it. That's all that's got left in it now. Sorry, you can't even see there. And if you see here, just how much it's going to disappear, 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 disappear. There's loads of it that I've used up. Because in the summertime, this is one I pull out every single year. And I know, what does it say on it? 6 months? 12 months? I've probably had it for a good 3 years, but every year I pull it out and it hasn't done anything to my skin as of yet, so I continue to use it. Most underrated. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm going to pick. This one from H&M. Again, love a cream blush, I'm sorry. This is their Do All Stick. They still do these Do All Sticks, and this is in English Rose, I think. Wait, I'll just find somewhere to put it. That's it there. They're so pigmented, so creamy. You can obviously put it on your lips and your cheeks, and they blend out beautifully. They are so nice, and then it's not tacky. Like, see, when you've blended it out, it doesn't go that tacky way that other like cream products might go. And for me personally, that doesn't bother me, but I know with a lot of people, you don't want to like quite like you've stuck your face in a chip pan like me. Another little tangent here for you. Chip pan, I mean fries. I don't mean chips, like chip and dip. I mean fries, but like chunky fries that you would serve with fish and chips. So chip pan, deep fat fryer, that's what I'm talking about, just to clear that up. But yeah, they're really nice. They are very affordable. It's obviously H&M, it's not like a beauty company, but these from H&M are actually phenomenal. Really nice. They do some nice powders and things as well. I think their lipsticks are okay. I've never used them, but I've seen reviews. Some of their highlight stuff they do is really nice. They also do this like version in a clear stick, so if you're into that really sweaty, dewy look, you can get that as well. But this one doesn't. It dries down nice and matte. It's very nice, and I like it. That is very underrated. Most nostalgic. Right, we'll go with a Posy tint. I'll tell you why. So, I've mentioned before on my Q&A video that I used to live in London, and I worked in, I was an intern in fashion design, and at the time, my internship didn't pay. It wasn't good. It was very hard living in London, and I needed to have a part-time job, so I worked for Benefit. And the reason I remember, now Benny Tint, everybody will know about Benny Tint, it's one of their iconic classic products, but for me, and me at 19 or 20 years old, I was like, that is too bright, that's too much for me. I don't want to look like I've got big rosy cheeks. I already have big cheeks, I don't need them to be any bigger. But this one, Posy Tint, is like just a really, again, like you've just been kissed by a puppy. It's just really nice, like nice flush of pink on the cheeks rather than red on the cheeks. And that's what probably this takes me back to, because when I done my interview for Benefit, what they done was you basically got shown how to use a product. So it was this, or it wasn't actually, it was Benny Tint, it wasn't this, and it was High Beam. They basically sent you around with a couple of like bottles of stuff to get people into the shop. And I remember I had my Benny Tint and my High Beam, and I'm going around looking for people to try this on their face. And you could just tell they were like, fuck off girl, like I don't want you putting any shit on my face. And I started speaking to this couple of young girls, and they were probably, if I was 20 at the time, they could have been 26. They were a little bit older than me, and they were a bit like, oh no, what's going on here? And I was like, look, I'm trying to get a job, and if I get to put this shit on your face, then they'll give me the job. And she was like, oh, okay, fine. So I said to her as well, because she was like, I've heard about Benny Tint before. She's like, but it's too red for me, it's too rosy, it's too bright. And I was like, well, I've got just the thing for you. And I pulled this one out because personally I thought this was really nice and so much nicer than Benny Tint. And she was like, fuck, actually, like, I'm gonna take one of them off you. Sold the product, got the job. So there you go. That's where that takes me back to. That is my nostalgic blush there. I'm kind of glad I've hung on to that now. And the most disappointing. Oh, this is the one that Lauren put into, was her Benefit blushes. They don't overly disappoint me, I'll be honest with you. My most disappointing, probably gonna be maybe this one. This is Florence by Mills, by Millie Bobby Brown. This is in the shade Gorgeous. Is it Gorgeous Gia? Yeah, Gorgeous Gia. I think they're named after friends of hers. Again, a beautiful berry colour, which I love. I'm just getting a wee swatch in there for you. Look, it's a gorgeous colour. It's so nice. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it was nice and I do like it on my skin. I'm not gonna put it on my cheeks just now, I've got too much going on. But look, the packaging's all falling apart. Like, it you know, for the price of it and stuff, it's kind of fallen to bits. Oh shit, how do I get it back in now? It's gonna end up falling out. It's kind of cheap, and for the price of it, I was just kind of like, it literally would just, oh god, I'm gonna end up with it all over me. It just falls out. So probably this one was the most disappointing. I mean, I don't know how much I was expecting when it's kind of, I suppose, a bit of a teenage brand, but it's not cheap. So for that reason, I kind of was disappointed. The actual colour is okay. Sorry, I'm bringing up more of my arm here. That's the colour there, and again, it can be blended out quite nicely. And again, it's that real berry bitten frost, and it goes down to a relatively nice texture, and it does blend out okay. But I just wasn't wowed by it. Like, I picked it up with such anticipation, thinking like, oh my god, it's gonna be freaking amazing. And then actually, I put it in a drawer and I've not really pulled it out, and it's a colour that I love, but I've not pulled it out. It started falling to bits. I just kind of was like, don't think I'll pick anything up from Florence again. But yeah, that's probably the most disappointing. And it's not bad. Like, you can see it there. It's actually not a bad blush. It's just probably been the most disappointing out of a very good bunch. I was going to say the best of a bad bunch, but that's the opposite, isn't it? It's the worst out of a very good bunch. That's all I can say. Oh, I am now absolutely covered in stuff because I was like, oh, what are these? Now it's just spurred me on to do some sort of decluttering. I really need to do that, and I probably need to do a bit of a shop mustache because, to be honest with you, like, I've got ones here that I've never even used. Like, they're still in the packet. I've never even took them out of the packet. I took them out for a swatch and then just put them back in the drawer, which is a little bit ridiculous. Also, this is probably a relatively new one. This is the one I've got on today. This is the Nabla one. Now, the shine, there is a little bit of Kaleidos on there, but the sheen, the pink, this is the skin glazing from Nabla. Now, I'm very fair, so it does come up nice pink on me. On deeper skin tones, it might just be more of a pink shift, that kind of thing. But on me, it does come up as a really nice rosy coloured, rosy slash a little bit coral blush, and I think it's very pretty. Just thought I'd throw that one in at the end for you there. But that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this blush tag. I certainly enjoyed doing it. I felt like all of a sudden there I had a million things to talk about. It's probably going to be much longer than I expected. But what else do you expect from me? So I hope you've enjoyed that. What about yourself? What are your favourite blushes? Who do you like going to? Who are your die-hard ride or die blushes? Who do you always go to? And do you prefer cream or powder? I am a cream girl myself, but I do have plenty of powders as well. I just get reined in. See, I can't help myself when I start, and I'm like, oh yeah, gotta buy everything I possibly can. So this year, I'm trying not to do that. So anyway, that is all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. There's a little subscribe button down here if you fancy it. If you've thought, you know what, she was actually alright, I'll maybe watch her again. Please feel free to click on some of the videos at the end, and I'll see you all again in the next one. Bye!